Hello to my Aries. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Okay, the overarching question for you all is, what message does nature or the earth want you to offer you today? So you have to get out in nature to get that question answered, right? So let's start off with an intention, right? So sometimes just get out in nature, clearing your head, getting some fresh air will give you some answers to some things. That I am valued by my community. That's right. So, all right. So maybe somebody needs to kind of get out the house a little bit and recognize that you are valued by your community. Sometimes staying in the house too much, you kind of forget. So if you're somewhere and the weather is nice, get out the house. Get out the house a little bit. Get out the house. All right. Yeah. So 242, power. So you are very capable. Become aware of the power of your thoughts and words. Your angels want you to know that your mental state reflects in every relationship, opportunity, and environment you end up in. Be an impartial observer of your thoughts and self-talk today. Your angels are listening. They are listening. Yeah. So yeah. Any, like when people are trying to send you negative energy, like wherever you go. Start paying attention to that kind of energy and say this, like, I am valued by my community, right? Even if you're new on a job or new somewhere, whatever your community is, people value you. Sometimes you have to look at like where you come from. That sometimes look like, how much you've invested some time in a community and people value your time wherever you were there. So sometimes you look at it that way, right? So you're very, very capable of something. So let's see. So I feel like when I look at this right here, you say, I am valued by my community. So maybe somebody may have felt devalued somewhere. You could have felt devalued in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Possibly by two people who, and I'm talking to you whoever Aries is in your birth chart. You all rule first house. So somebody has a Python spirit. But here's the thing, this is a duality, right? Because we had a new moon in Gemini. We're talking about duality. You can either look at a Python spirit as this one right here would be a spirit of lying. That's a Python spirit. But you can look at a snake as you having a rebirth about something that you may have been unclear about, or however you look at it. The scales from your eyes have been removed. But you don't want to assume anything. You always want to go to source for clarity, complete and total clarity about something. But you're not looking back. Whatever it is, you're not looking back. So I'm talking to you, whoever Aries is in your birth chart. My cross watchers as well. When you get to a point where you realize, okay, you're very capable of this right here. You know that you're valued by your community. And if somebody devalues you, it doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. So say you know your worth, you know your value. Move on, don't look back. Scales from your eyes have been removed. So if you're working a job, because usually when you see like 7 of Cups, you like to see snakes slithering away from something, right? So an example of that would be, let's say you're working on a job and your manager says at the end of 6 months, you're going to get a raise, right? But you didn't ask if what channels it has to go through. But what if in between that time you were supposed to get a raise, whoever the signing person was, that position switched out or something happened in between that. Somebody didn't ask, it's just too many left. Because in the 7 of Cups, there's too many bowls. It looks like 7 bowls. And somebody has, usually on the card, somebody has had the index finger in their mouth, almost thinking okay, which bowl should I, which question should I ask? What should I be waiting on? So here we have lust, right? Here we have somebody met their match, right? So you're dealing with two energies who you've heard have a lustful spirit, right? So whether that is true or not, Source is saying to you, somebody could have said that about you too, right? Somebody could have said that, we're talking about the duality, we're talking about the moon in Gemini, right? What Source is trying to get somebody to do as an Emperor energy is to look at the duality of Emperor energy, right? That not all Aries are the same. Is that people took one look at you, right? Some people took one look at you and thought, oh, they thought they knew who you were, right? Right? So do the mirror work. Do the mirror work. And so you deserve the best. You deserve the best, right? So somebody regrets lying to you about something. More money is coming in soon. So the money is always coming from source, right? Doesn't matter what source, you know, puts the money through with hands or whoever. It's always coming from source. So your peace is paramount. So an example of like you working a job and your manager says in 6 months you're going to get a raise. So in hindsight, now that the scales have been removed, somebody's now asking more questions, like more structured and authoritative, instead of just impulsively saying, okay, all right, sure. Yeah, sure. Somebody's asking more questions. So there are signs all around you. Your gifts have increased, and that's what makes your gifts increase, right? That's what makes your gifts increase, because now you know what you didn't know before in hindsight. So time to ground yourself. So it's time to do a root chakra cleanse. And so somebody is amongst incubi and succubi. Don't give yourselves a headache over something. Pray and meditate. So somebody has been hearing a lot about you, right? But when you see they, you've been hearing a lot about other energies. But do you know for certain? Right? So it could be, you're talking about duality, right? It could be. They could be amongst incubi and succubi. But remember, you don't have to physically sleep with someone to be amongst incubi and succubi. Somebody could be in a community where people just are kind of free with themselves, whatever, but who's judging? Right? So that's what Source is trying to get you to see. Just the duality of some things, right? When you hear certain things. And so you being valued by your community, you just know when to leave when you feel devalued, if that makes any sense. But don't cloud your mind up with all that other stuff. Who likes you, who doesn't like you, who values, who doesn't, who devalues you, all of that other stuff, right? So you're not looking back in either case. Something you're not looking back. You're rising above some kind of judgment of, people, you feel like somebody judged you, right? Yeah, if you feel like somebody judged you, you're taking your power back. You're rising above something, right? And leaving something behind, whatever, letting people believe whatever they want to believe. Then that's the power move. That's you. That's your power move. It's like, whatever, you're letting people believe what they want to believe, right? But it would be foolish for you to keep going back into a bunch of chaos and confusion with dark magician energies. It's 2 dark magician energies. And so Source is like, why would you do that? You've already won something, right? So judgment is coming down already on someone, right? It's already coming down on someone because of what people believe about them, whoever they are, right? So half people believe, like a half the truth is a whole lie, right? Like half and half, right? Like these 2 energies are like chained together. Whoever these 2 energies are from your past, like half people believe, half people don't. Source is saying you're removing yourself from the confusion. In other words, it's like, okay, you're just praying for strength. It's like just unchaining yourself from just confusion quickly. You're saying, okay, I'm just quickly, so I can stay focused. That's you. You're saying, I'm just trying to stay focused. Trying to stay focused. I know my worth. I know my value. I'm staying focused. I don't have time for all of the drama, right? So here was the 6 of Wands here. So that's where the victory lies for you. Is like you don't have time for drama of who's separated from who's not talking to whom, all of the other stuff. So good. That's a good place to start. So you have an idea like who's behind closing something out. Yeah, remember time is relative, right? So, but you have an idea like who is behind closing something out. So what was closed out? Through prayer and meditation. There's somebody in your family. There's two energies in your family. Yeah, it's two fire signs. Or they had fire like in there. Excuse me. It could be a Leo, an Aries, or Sagittarius. But like for them, money run. When it comes to money, that seed was planted really deep in them at a young age. Like quick money, like they like fast money. Some people in your family, these could be like yeah, somebody doesn't like to wait for money. Something about this is again in your family. Somebody, for them, they just like fast money. Whoever these energies are. Let me see. So yeah, they like to create a lot of confusion to get it. They like to have everybody distracted as long as the money. For them, they run money. Because they're obsessed with it. That's what a judgment card is, right? But something, here's this right here. This right here, just like you carry a lot of emotion in your back. Somebody carries a lot of emotion in their back. Well, you may have like that little hump on your back right there. Somebody has like fat or something on their back. Somebody carries a lot of emotion on their back and maybe in their midsection area. So like when you feel, that's like the stressors. That's where you feel it, like in your back, and you feel it in your midsection area there. Especially around full moon, right? So those are the times when somebody could feel like whoever in your family, like if your kids or a spouse or whatever, you could feel when they are overwhelmed. Like you can kind of feel when they have a lot of weight on their back, because it's like you feel it. It's like you feel it. Yep. So if you're not feeling that, that's what somebody is learning. It's like if you're not feeling it in your back, then it's not you or your grandkids not feeling it, or your spouse not feeling it, right? So somebody could be lying about something, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you're hearing all of this, and that's why you're moving on from the distractions of hearing gossip. And this is like somebody making a lot of fast money. They into this and they into that. They like to be the center of attention and all this gossip and stuff. You're leaving all of that behind, because if it's not affecting your body, because somebody knows, like it affects like in your sacral chakra, right in the the mid area, like right in your stomach area, between your solar plexus and also your sacral chakra, and you feel it in your back. Somebody feels it in their back, like you're carrying somebody else's emotional baggage on your back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're carrying, you know, you feel if you're walking up stairs and you're carrying groceries like heavy, you know, that when you don't want to go back to your vehicle and grab another bag, so you're carrying like 50 bags, trying to squeeze them all in two hands and trying to carry them all up. And so by the time you get like, okay, you're going to drag them up the stairs or wherever, if you don't have something to, you know, if you don't have a cart or something to roll them. So I'm looking at this carriage right here, and but somebody physically feels it in their body, especially during full moon, when you or your kids, whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter, you feel it in your body. And you feel it overwhelmingly in your body. So, but if you don't feel that, for you, it's like, okay, so it's saying you just pray for it and just move on. Yeah. Because you know that the enemy is trying to distract you, right? So here we have the Four of Pentacles here. So that's how you're learning how to be more conservative with your time, Aries. You're just learning like, oh, you know, you may pause for a second just to kind of gather yourself, but then you're like, well, my body's not hurting. You start checking your body. Does your joints and your knees hurt? Does your back hurt? You start feeling like, okay, you don't really have any pains anywhere. Just pray, because the enemy right here, this fire right here, some energies are trying to send dark magic your way. And I'm talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. And so you are transmuting that energy, right? And again, so one of the ways that somebody is learning how to do it is to focus on the beauty around you. Again, about saying you're valued by your community. Some ways you can get out is get out in the outside, get up under that sunlight. You know, however you do it, is just telling yourself that you are, the I am factor is source. It's like you are valued by your community. So everything you're sending out to the universe is coming back to you. So that's you putting a smile on your face. You're speaking to people as you pass them by. Somebody's just in a different kind of an energy now. You're just in a different kind of energy. Like, okay, whatever. You know, you're not even thinking, giving certain energies who want to appear. You know, like they are just. But that's not, as far as you're concerned, that's not even of your concern, right? It's not of your concern, right? So somebody was just determined to bring out like a dark side of you. It's like almost somebody was like, this is a part of an organization. They started talking to you about music. They started talking to you about, you know, enlightenment, spirituality. They want to talk to you about all these things. Like, I have so much in common. All this warm conversation about things. Just waiting to hear anything dark about you. To become familiar with anything dark about you, use it against you later. So, like I said before, Source is saying to you, yeah, somebody has that Queen of Wands there is a Leo, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a Leo, just so we're crystal clear, right? So when I say zodiac signs, sometimes they may trigger a name for people, right? But remember, every zodiac sign rules a house. So Leos rule 5th house, right? So somebody has and it could be, like I said, it could be somebody who is high vibrating 5th house. Something is affecting your 5th house though. Something is affecting your 5th house, right? And so it's just basically like who you can joke around and play with. Kind of like who you can let your inner child out and play with, but if something affects your 5th house, you know, when you're sitting down, like people get you all warmed up in conversation, you think you can be free and talking to people about certain things, and then they come back and just turn around and, oh, I didn't know that, you know, your kids, you know, they had been, they were, you know, this and that, or they may say something like, you could have been joking about something. Let's say, for instance, you said you're talking to a sibling and you're confiding in them about, you know, a spouse. Like sometimes siblings are really close and they start talking to their other sibling about something, not knowing it's going to eventually come back, you know, to them. They could say, oh, did you know so-and-so, such and such, about their spouse, right? But Source is trying to tell you Source is trying to tell you, somebody could have been talking about their marriage. You could have been talking about your marriage to a sibling, or you could have been talking about your, you know, something. Marriage to somebody who was just obsessed with copying somebody. Like you could have been having a conversation with somebody who was just obsessed with. Two energies was obsessed with doing a destiny swap, like obsessed with having the same kind of life that somebody else had, but they had to first, you know, phase somebody out. They had to overwhelm somebody in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They had to bring judgment down on somebody. So you never know what kind of stuff people are into, what kind of dark magic people are into. Somebody's into some really dark witchcraft, like dark arts. I mean, really dark, to a point they will like hold on to somebody's, you know, hold on to somebody's property, like physically hold on to something. And property could be somebody's kids or their like house or their car. Like they're not giving something back. Like they, here we had the Wheel of Fortune here. So somebody into some real dark, because that's all of that is energy. But you're on top of something. You're on top of something. So I feel like for you, looking at your cards here, and again, I'm talking to you whoever Aries is in your birth chart. It does not have to be your sun sign. It doesn't have to be your moon. It can be somewhere in your birth chart. I got to make this crystal clear. But somewhere in your, somebody felt like holding a, like holding on to somebody's child and obsessively, physically following you. Because you see this Chariot card is in motion, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. It's like somebody is obsessively following you around. Like obsessively following you around. Like you move somewhere, they move where you move. Right? Obsessed. Yeah. And so, yeah. Like somebody's just ruthless. Somebody is ruthless. So, but you're free of that energy, and so Source is saying, yeah, you're free of that energy because you just know how this energy is built. Somebody is with some kind of an organization. They have a backing of some kind of an organization. So whatever, I don't know what kind of organization they're in. Who knows? You may, because again, this is a general reading, so you may know what kind of organization that they're a part of. That obsessively likes to become familiar with people. But Source is saying to you, you're praying for people's strength, whoever this is. You know, like people think you have your heart on your sleeve, almost like your meekness is your weakness, but you know how to pray. I feel like as an emperor, you're a prayer warrior. And so you don't have to go into physical war for something. Somebody could be a part of a, like I said, a dark, because somebody's into dark magic. That's why I always tell people, do not practice dark magic. It's one thing to learn about it so you'll know signs and symbols and all of that other stuff, but to practice it, it's overwhelming for some people to a point they literally drown in stuff. Like they get it becomes so demonic. It becomes this violent world. It's just this really violent and very hostile world, and it's just a bunch of chaos and confusion, a lot of going off on each other, just a lot of competitiveness, like who's gonna be on stage, who has to be the center of attention. People are determined and being gossipy and messy and just ruthless and cutthroat, all for money, all to grow their money, all to be kind of like the center of the attention in the family, whether it's a music family, whether it's whether it's an entertainment family, whatever kind of family dynamic it is. It's like somebody's just ruthless when it comes to just wanting to be the center of attention when it comes to some stuff. So Source is saying to you, you got two energies that this could be somebody's somebody feels overwhelmed. But your gifts have increased. So whoever, I don't know who's amongst the incubi and succubi, but sometimes you don't know. It could be your next door neighbors. They could be into some stuff. But if it's not you and you feel like you're safe, that's what matters. But you can go into prayer warrior mode. Okay? So if you feel like you're safe and you're not into no whole bunch of, running down the hallway or going from house to house and you with this person and that person, so it's saying, then good for you. I'm saying receiving it all. So you deserve to receive abundance at full capacity. Believe in your worth and trust that the universe is ready to deliver all that you desire. So open up. So you hold the key to your life, right? So all that you do with ease and enthusiasm is the path to your goal. Actions are secondary. Make the energy within your primary focus. Do not underestimate the little joys. So yeah, if you don't know, like I said before, somebody carries the weight in their back. Unless you've eaten a lot of food, I tell you eat a lot of food, your stomach is going to protrude a little bit, so that may pull on your back some. But y'all know what I'm saying, like if you haven't eaten anything and your back is hurting and your stomach is protruding, that's stress. then it could be an indicator that something is going on. Like, you know your body better than anybody else. Like, you know, you feel like, okay, you feel like somebody is going through something. You believe somebody is going through something. They're at a crossroad in their lives, right? This is, again, where you go into prayer. You don't impulsively get on the phone and start calling everybody. You say, okay, you're going into prayer and meditation. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for Source to give me some clarity. Till Source give me some clarity, I'm not talking to nobody about it. I'm going for a walk. And that's it, without agenda. So somebody has love coming across their path too. But pure love and everything you have dreamed will happen when you're ready to give love without expecting anything in return. True givers receive. Yeah, that's what Source is trying to prepare somebody for. Source is trying to prepare you for really marriage, the love of your life. If you want kids, I mean, if somebody could already have kids, but Source does not want somebody to be overwhelmed with the impulsive. Every time you have a creak or ache in your joints, you know, you running to go get the WD-40. No, I'm just kidding. But no, like, it don't really matter whether you're young or old. You know, people have creaks. But the point is just like every time you have an ache or something, it's like not to be frantic about it. It's like learn how to go into prayer warrior mode. Like, okay, I'm going to pray about a situation and I'm just going to go on about my day, because you're trying to make room. You're getting away from something real fast. And because something has just, you know, like I said, there's something in the middle of something. It's a spirit in the middle of something that, you know, it's a belief system about something. Who believes this? Like in terms of wolf energy. Somebody is saying that somebody is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Somebody is saying somebody else is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't think you care. Here we have no debate. So you don't need to do anything to be more worthy. You are valuable regardless of your circumstances. You always have been and always will be. It's not up for debate. It's one thing when, like I said, when you know you hold the key, you can leave the confusion behind. Like you're not even putting the energy there at all. You're not even putting the energy there. Who's saying who's this wolf in sheep's clothing? Who's saying who's not a wolf in sheep's clothing? It's like two energies want to like bum rush the stage. You know, it's almost like but they're trying to project that onto you, like you want to be the center of attention or something. You've already left the drama behind. Could you imagine, Aries, somebody announcing a fight that you didn't even know was going. You were supposed to be a participant in a fight. You had no idea. It's like, what? So anyway, you're praying and meditating. You don't even know what people are talking about. You have no clue as to what in the world people are even talking about. That's why I tell people, look, take what resonates with you in the reading. Like, you don't even know what people are talking about. Like, what? Yeah, so if you're watching readings and you seeing like a fight break out on social media and you don't know if they bots or human beings, I mean, remove yourself from the equation. Don't even jump in that. Like what? And people are being ruthless and judging people. Yeah, have a total recall. Like I said, just distraction, total recall. So people could be going through a tower moment. They jumping and stuff like it's double dutch. Like, so saying just remove yourself from the chaos and confusion. It had nothing to do with you. But something is closed out fast. Move on. Move on. That's why you're here. Take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, then hey, your gifts have increased. But I'm looking at, like I said before, what you didn't know before, and we're not even talking about gossip, because all it takes is you're flushing out something at the root, and what you coming out at the root is like, okay, you're pulling up weeds of people just like racing to just believe the first thing you hear about something, because people have said things about you and you know, and they didn't even know, right? So, and it caused them to have some kind of an awakening. You're in a very vulnerable space. You're having a tower moment right now. So it could be affecting your back, your shoulders. It could be affecting your midsection in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But Source is trying to help you to rise above the judgment. You've already won something. So if you rise above the judgment, like I feel like somebody could be this way, like residue or something. Maybe you've been through something so traumatic that you're just waiting for something like else to like really end in like something else. It's something else somebody's waiting to just be done with and be over with, right? Because somebody may have told you something. People were just kind of sitting around, like a group of people were kind of sort of went somewhere and was talking about something, and so somebody is now like, maybe you waiting on something there. You waiting for something else to end. There's something else you feel like something else needs to come to a close, or maybe something else you waiting on. But supposed to go take a walk. Get up under the sunlight. Get up under the sunlight. Yeah. And yeah, get up under the sunlight. Let me see. Yeah, so I just want somebody to get out a little bit, because I feel like somebody has love coming across their path. It's just something you got coming across your path here. Something you have coming across your path. Well, you have love coming across your path. I see you and somebody growing your abundance and your prosperity for sure, because you've learned how to rise above the judgment. I'm trying not to laugh because. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you and somebody are learning how to rise above the judgment, because yeah, somebody is getting away from energies who just jump to conclusions about stuff. So yeah, your door's closed to that. Yeah, it's like 9 of Pentacles. You're not talking about your money. Like somebody's definitely like, okay, no more discussion about your money, like what you have. None of those things, because people just jump to conclusions. They just impulsively. So your doors, when it comes to talking about those kind of things, certain things is now off limits. That's why some people don't talk about politics. They don't talk about religion. They don't talk about how much money they have. They like, They had to learn the hard way by having a tower moment. It's like, nope. Yep. So, yeah, somebody was sitting around a table talking to a group of people about what either you created or somebody else created, and caused a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of loss, a lot of tears, a lot of lamenting, all because, let me see, somebody wanted to be a part of something. They wanted to grow their money. They were sitting around just talking instead of just being conservative. Like I said with this guys, just talking to a group of people about what they had. Here we had the King of Cups, and the King of Cups was sitting there listening. So here we had the 4 of Swords here. So you're finally getting some rest. You have a that's what I feel like you and somebody kind of have in common. You and somebody have in common. Let me check. There's something for you. The 8 of Wands here. Yeah. I feel like you and somebody are like really focused. Just in a very vulnerable state right now. Yeah, just very vulnerable. Right. Page of Pentacles here. Possibly this new lease, feeling like you have this whole new lease on life. But certain things, y'all it's like off limits. Certain conversations are just off limits from now on. Just like, somebody's not talking about their kids. They're not talking about anything. Like certain things, you're not talking about anything. I mean, there's some people, they just, you're saying nope. Saying nope.